Thank you for staying with us. Now, the Senate is proposing the death penalty as the maximum punishment for kidnapping, banditry, and other terrorist acts. News Central's National Assembly correspondent Sagir Ibrahim reports that the resolution followed a heated session on Wednesday, during which lawmakers expressed deep concern over Nigeria's escalating insecurity triggered by deadly attacks on a church in Eruku, Kwara State, and on schools in Kebbi and Niger State. Now, News Central Sagir Ibrahim joins us from Abuja for more on this. Thank you for joining us, Sagir. So please go ahead and tell us, how does this proposal differ from past approaches in dealing with kidnapping, Sagir?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, Dashin. This is not the first time that the Senate has shown this amount of resolve with respect to the security situation in the country. If you remember some time, I think in the 8th or the 7th Senate, then lawmakers, Todimu Ige of Kebbi broke down in tears in the Senate during plenary because of the situation in the country. So a million-dollar question, but then we are hoping that this resolve would push the security agencies and all of those involved to do what is necessary to be done to ensure that all of these issues, are tackled once and for all. Communities across Nigeria continue to bear the brunt of attacked by gunmen, assailants, bandits, terrorist activities, which has led to loss of lives of many Nigerians because of that. We saw the rise in the activities of these abductions, kidnappings, and attacks in the last few days. This is what has triggered these lawmakers this time to say we have to act, especially considering the fact that according to Senator Ibrahim, there was earlier warnings, something triggered the removal of security personnel deployed to the GGCSS to Maga, Kebbi State. This question till today has not been answered. This is the reason why lawmakers are saying there has to be an investigation to get to the bottom of this. This looks like it is a sabotage. And if this is not investigated, we risk having the situation get worse than it is at the moment. Other senators, such as the minority leader of the Senate, also raised concerns with regard to how some of these student pupils regained freedom, but yet there was no corroborative arrest, in addition to the fact that these children were rescued. So the question of whether a back channel sort of negotiation is going on, to ensure some sort of release and payment for the release of this student in terms of ransom has also to be considered, because he said if that is the case, it becomes, counterproductive to the entire effort of ensuring security is tackled, the security situation is tackled in the country. So these conversations were what we had, which led to resolutions, of course, which is now very, very well in the media space, of a death penalty being labeled on those guilty of kidnappings, and of course an amendment to the Terrorism Act to capture that, as well as the death sentence, the maximum penalty for activities of banditry and also terrorism. So this is sort of snippets of what played out during the session during Wednesday's plenary session.
All right, Sagir. Now, you did say that one major point of contention was the withdrawal of the troops from the Kebbi school just minutes before the attack. But what more have you gathered about lawmakers' concerns and what the Senate hopes to uncover in this investigation?
Well, first of all, I would say today plenary started a bit late because it was not, they couldn't form a quorum in a good time. So a quorum is when there's a minimum number of lawmakers that have to be in the Senate before plenary can start. And that number is around 45. So you see, the Senate has been unable to form a quorum at least early enough, because right now at the moment, lawmakers are currently deployed across the nation. For example, in Plateau State, where the North Central Zonal National Security Summit is going on right now, a hearing in Plateau State. I'm sure our correspondent there will be bringing details of that. Now, this buttresses the point that I was trying to make earlier, that these lawmakers are concerned. They intend to convene a national security summit in December to address these issues, to bring think tanks, to bring experts, to bring individuals who, are experts in this field, to bring in all of the security agencies under one roof to have this conversation with an intention to find a lasting solution to it. So I believe if you ask the question of what else they are doing, this sort of points us in the direction of what they intend to achieve, in terms of getting this done. So they are trying their part. Of course, they know that what they can do is make laws and also hear from the people what it is that needs to be done. But they are saying that they will not rest on their oars. They will continue to put pressure where pressure is necessary. even including visiting the president of the country to show not only solidarity, but also to tell him, give their own, advice to him to say, this is what to be done, this is what needs to be done. And of course, we also saw the Senate show that they will not tolerate any inaction from any organization or anybody involved that is supposed to be taking action. Considering the fact that just yesterday, the Senate president had dissolved the Committee of Security and Intelligence for what he described as the inability of them to keep up with the situation and even give an update with what was going on with regards to the security breaches. So you see, this culminates into some of the actions that they are at least trying to take to ensure that pressure is put in the right places to ensure that Nigerians can sleep with their two eyes closed without worry of someone attacking in the night.
All right, thank you so much, Sagir, for that update.